Well, our next speaker will be the last one before we take a little break, is someone that probably some of you have seen before, and I've had the privilege of working with many times over the years, Jeffrey Cufaude. While you may have seen him 100 times, what you might not know is that he thinks the best gig that he ever had was working at an ice cream parlor in high school, because he got to scoop little scoops of joy for people, and it just brought happiness to them and himself. Jeffrey, thank you.
We really should be told in advance you're following the largest ball of twine, but I think it's appropriate to be talking about sustainability given the night that some of you had last night. So let me plant a question with you. Is the way you're choosing to live your life right now, personally, professionally, is it sustainable? The question came up to me when I turned 40, because for about 12 years I'd lived in a bucolic little bungalow in downtown Indianapolis, and I treated myself to being debt-free by paying off my mortgage when I turned 40. And I started to think about, gosh, I love my house, but there are really a lot of things about it that are getting tedious. So it's un-American to not have debt. So I immediately upgraded my lifestyle, took out a bigger mortgage, bought a house twice as big in size, and upgraded my sense of style with new furnishings, and decided I really wanted to live large for a change of pace and to do things a little bit differently. 15 by 40 foot great room opened out to a 15 by 40 foot deck, which opened out to a 115 foot by 40 foot lot. Plenty of room for the kids. Great for the dog to run around. I don't have kids. I don't have a dog to run around. I traded my little rotary mower and 6 minutes and 30 seconds of pushing on the lawn at my little bucolic bungalow for multiple hours on the rider mower bigger than my friggin' car in order to maintain the lawn for the kids and the dog I don't have. I wanted to go to therapy, but I was out of money, so I just pretended that I went to therapy. And what I learned is, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So the path to sustainability starts with self-awareness. What matters most to you? Self-restraint to live not within your means, but sometimes beneath your means, and the self-esteem to be okay about that when others start to question some of your decisions. The problem with self-awareness is that sometimes it's self-deception. And we can't change what we don't notice, but not noticing what's not sustainable in our life isn't going to make it go away. So I want to give you a little bit of time to think about what are some things that maybe you need to notice in your life. So you can make a mental column with side 1 and side 2, or if you've got a pad of paper, you could actually do that. On one side, what's a good sustainable habit right now? You want to keep that one going. What's an unsustainable habit that you really need to change? Go ahead, I've got 15 seconds to wait. Life is too short, is what a lot of people say, but as the anthropologist Mary Catherine Bateson reminds us, it's not really true. We're living longer, but thinking shorter. Life is too long to not be making more sustainable choices in the moment. If we want to have a great life in the macro, we can't be like the lead character in Shirley Valentine. We don't do what we want to do, we do what we have to do and pretend it's what we want to do. Pretending isn't sustainable for the long haul, not when we're going to live as long as we do right now. So what I think we need to start with is asking different questions. Not what do you want to be when you grow up, but who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? And what role does work play in that life for you? Jim Collins has tried to give us a little bit of guidance in that, in the hedgehog concept, that we think about it organizationally, but he also applies it personally. What are you passionate about? What will people pay you to do? What are you genetically encoded to do? Sometimes we'll be paid for our passion, so we stop thinking about, is this what I'm genetically encoded to do? We also need to rethink our career paths. The legacy ladder that some people want to climb may work for them, but many of us may want lattices where we move horizontally, take a step back. And Maslow's hierarchy, thank you very much, I want food, shelter, and self-actualization all at once. So let me suggest to you a principle that I'm trying to live in terms of what may be sustainable for myself. Instead of trying to fit in, seek the places, the people, and the opportunities that fit. And you may say, I don't have choice. I've got a partner, the economy's tough, I don't have any choice. We always have choice. We may not like the consequences, but we're not being held hostage in our own lives. Cope, confront, create, quit. Those are always choices that are available to us. I will tell you the choice that is not available to us is to put it off. The antidote to being exhausted in our life, it's not rest, it's wholeheartedness. And heart comes from the root word courage. Cur means heart, and that's what we need to be courageous about. So if you want wholeheartedness in the macro, ask these questions in the micro. What's happening right now? What do you most want right now? And how are you preventing yourself from getting that? That's what's going to lead us to more sustainable choices. So let me suggest to you that if you want to live large, we can do so by always consuming less. A sustainable life for you, big enough to have meaning, small enough to maintain. Hopefully you'll create that for yourself. Thanks a lot.